Hey there, let's dive into this fascinating paper on video-based multimodal large language models, or video LLMs. Imagine you're watching a movie, and you want a computer to understand what's happening. Traditional methods treat each frame as a separate image. Hey there, let's dive into this fascinating paper on video-based.
Demo is showed, and now I just want to tell you one very important thing. Because don't make tools for the sake of doing them. Always remember about end goal and what you want to make. To make a tool, you don't must be very intelligent or smart, but you must remember why are you doing it? What problem do you want to solve with it? Yeah, and now let's jump into it. On the demo you saw this big workflow. This is not very difficult to do. You can schedule a trigger for a specific API call to doing, but I just for the sake will not make it. We have our loop over items, how I described earlier in other previous my records. We are splitting out the inputs because we must to process it sequentially, not like everything in one place. We must process in one time one specific paper and item ID and put this specific item ID to the next and search for this specific ID of specific thing, not everything in one time, because an 8M process elements not in parallel but one by one, and it's very important to remember that. But in our case we must to divide those items on one specific item, loop over them and collect and refer to a specific item. In this loop we just have batch size 1, filter by ID, and very important, listen now carefully. I've spent 2 days, 2 days in figuring out why this formula doesn't work. It didn't work out because of those two signs, because it's JavaScript and you must to remember to put this here to make those formulas work in Airtable. The next if statement basically shows if this paper ID already exists. We are going back and coming to process next item. That's it. If this doesn't exist, we just move on. The next add paper ID. We are create record because we didn't have this already. I don't know why it's so slow, but we didn't have it already, and now we are creating record in paper ID. This specific what we are get from this looping and splitting out elements. The next we are requesting by this specific paper ID which we are add to our database, specific HuggingFace paper, specific details. In our case it will be title and abstract. This is this abstract and this is title. Basically we must find in CSS selectors those things, abstract, this is this CSS selector, we are returning value text, and title, we also returning value text, find this specific CSS selector, and that's it. The next, we must to create voice over for our short, and we will do this with LLM. I figured out that ChatGPT for me now is expensive and easier to just use Groq model with free APIs for specific requests using small models, and this worked pretty well. I tried Mistral. It's also very cool. Mistral, Llama, you even can use DeepSeek, Qwen, Gemini, Gemini Whisper, and so on. The next, we are filtering our paper ID, and we are search for specific record, and when we search for specific record, we find it. And the next thing which we are doing, we are writing description for our short from our voiceover, what we are created and added to our database. And here system message, also which model we use, Mistral. And the next, we are updating our records. It means that in this step we are just adding to a specific ID which are matched specific values from outputs from previous nodes, like ID, it's what we get from here. We've get this search record and we've got ID of this record because we've put here search record filter by formula. We've got ID where we must to match those things. Output it's our voiceover for ElevenLabs in future, and title. Paper ID we are fill blank because we already added it. A link on image, it's very easy because every image on HuggingFace has the same URLs. They are hosting them on CDN, and you just basically add to the link paper ID. Paper URL the same. Description is output from our previous module here. Abstract is from here, and title also from here. We are updating our record. What's next? And yeah, anything else we're just fill this how it is. And next workflow demo, we've got the next workflow. Why I did 2 workflows? That's simple, because I wanted some customization, and this customization of voiceovers. Big problems with such new AI shiny videos tools that they give you no customization. You basically just put I want this random facts like here and give me some shorts, and it's already in a system prompt just generates something stochastically and gives you this output. And like for sometimes it's not even close on what type of content do you make. And here we have basically the same thing. We are search records, we find records, adding voice URL, if adding filter. For example, I know if I don't have voice URL in my Airtable, where is it? Here. It means that this short not already created. And by it, I just making condition of filter if it doesn't exist process. The next, we are making the same splitting out, it's array, and iterator, it makes from one sequence different items. Yeah. Next we are making set variable. This variable is just to make a good link of what we've got from iterator, and it works really good because every time you will have different value. The next is we're making, I must delete some of those nodes because it's not necessary. We are adding the ElevenLabs just call to specific ID of voice. You can find this ID voice in ElevenLabs. Post your API keys, application JSON. You can find everything on how to connect ElevenLabs in make.com or make API calls from your custom code. It's very easy. And here I just hard-coded this message, but here you can just put a specific, not hard-coded thing, but for example, output from the model, and it also will work out. The next we are, what is it? Okay, we are searching for history, and for the last, okay, it doesn't, it must be here. Make an API call. Okay, the next, fuck me. The next we are getting some output from ElevenLabs, and we are using this output and uploading it to some storage to later on access it. Because if you want to make it in that make.com or on your computer, in all cases you must to store it somewhere and make it accessible for our next tool, which we will use for creating video template. Yeah, I must drink coffee. And we're uploading this file after we are getting this shareable link. This shareable link really helps us access this specific audio which we are produced with ElevenLabs. Yep. And the next we are calculating here by duration of a video by specific settings which we are get here and here by file size. Next we are updating our records. This means we are adding to our web shareable link for voice URL to later on access it, and knowing that this thing is already exists and we don't must use and call ElevenLabs API more times. Audio length, we're basically calculating here. The next we are the most important part and interesting. We are making HTTP request to JSON to video to specific URL, method post, your API key, row body type JSON, and the next is your JSON. To get this, you must be familiar with your JSONs. Now a lot of stuff here hard-coded, but in a lot of cases you just can basically put it inside of a specific element and it will be dynamically updated. What I mean by that, let's look at this tool and how you can get this JSON. Also, they had free plan with API keys. You can use it, but I encourage you to just think. I will tell about costs later. Okay, here we have just some video, and that's it basically. Just hello world and black screen. we have this JSON ID element, text type. What is it? If will see, if you will choose this, you see the full JSON or movie template, and that's it. A movie template is your specific settings. Why this JSON to video is very cool? Because it gives you an opportunity to render your movies with FMPEG with JSON. It really saves you time, and if you will dive deeper, you will understand that you can create pretty any template in what you can do in your editor, but much faster, and have this dark and most dirty work done before you just started to think how to automate it. It's like, I think 3 minutes or 5 minutes for making a full working short, and later on you can access it. It's MP4 format that you can access and use. We are getting it, it's rendering, and what we will get here is render logs, and look what we've got. MP4 video, and yeah, like on a demo, yes, something like this.
Hey there, let's dive into this fascinating paper on video-based multimodal large language models, or video LLMs. Imagine you're watching a movie, and you want a computer to understand what's happening. Traditional methods treat each frame as a separate image, missing the flow of the story.
Yeah, and that's basically how it should look like. And you've got it. And the next we will talk about costs and why it's a problem. Okay, what I wanted to mention here are costs. Everything has a cost. And we must think about all those new shiny AI tools, like something what we are basically using, and using tokens, using requests, using resources, and using APIs. Here I just calculated, I had an idea of having TikTok short for machine learning paper overviews and make shorts every day about it for 1 year. Instead, it's 365 videos, and let's think how it can be. JSON to video is literally very expensive. If you are like starting out and you need something for just doing content, it's cool for a small business who can distribute content and get something from it. But if it's like educational content, it's less likely to be true. And it's like $15 in a month. With taxes in Poland, you must pay $55 with those taxes, and in a year it's $738. It's enough. Let's say it's not very a lot, but it's also cost. ElevenLabs, $6 per 10,000 tokens characters. I calculated that less or more I have this 1454 characters per video used, and just how much tokens I will need in the end for producing those videos by 1 year, and approximately it's $318. Make.com, we can be on a free plan and use different mails, different accounts. But also if you are thinking about making a real thing with Make.com, you must pay for it. It's also $88.56 per year. And LLM costs, for now I'm using this Groq thing, which is free for me. But in a lot of cases you also will need to use some specific model where you are polished some prompts for the best outputs, and that's basically can be also very huge like a cost. But for now, let's say we are staying on a Groq with Olama or something. If we want to reduce our costs, what I can propose, but it also will get more time from you and you must dive into it. The main expense, how we see, is JSON to video. I can say why. Under the hood, on JSON to video, with 100% they have FMPEG. FMPEG is open source libraries, framework, app, I just now don't know, but this is something big. They are started to developing it from late or early 90s, and it's very cool thing on which is built all video editors. Of course you can use it, of course you can play with it. The problem is that this is running locally. Of course you can rewrite everything on webhooks, making your functions and so on, but you must have very high GPU's computational power, because it's, in the end of the day, video. And not every hosting platform gives you opportunity to render video on their services, and it's very expensive. Plus you must to spend time on making a tool which will rendering not locally on your machine, but also gives you output. It means that you must to store somewhere your data, your all properties, all videos, all music, and all this stuff. And it's also very expensive. And I can say that all those tools which are in videos, they are making your videos and they will delete them from the history or memory after 2 weeks, maybe 5 days. What they are doing in this JSON to video. It also costs you time because you must really dive into this framework and things, but it's possible. It's literally $0 and you can be very happy with it and have really, really high customed thing. The next is text-to-speech models, also eating from us $318. It's a bet. Just my voice is now dying because it's the second video, but I'm trying. Because of some technical issues, it's the second time I'm recording the same video. Text-to-speech models. You can use Google. They have not very cool, let's say, quality. I don't like it. But in the end of the day, it's free. It's it's $4 for 1 million tokens. It's pretty cheap and you can use it. Also, I know about Amazon Poly. It's a cool thing. They have better quality. But they also lacking this mutual pauses, and you know that this speaks a robot. You can use Groq AI. It's open repository with okay, I will show you Groq AI. Deep Learning Toolkit. Yeah, it's very cool thing because they have really good quality in terms of the voice sounding, and in a lot of different stuff and different models. You can switch it and fine tune and everything what you want, basically. But you also must to dive into it. Yeah, just open source alternatives. Switch to an 8N. It's also very powerful way to reduce costs, but from the other side I've just made it on make.com because it's easier to pass the Google OAuth authentication in make.com, just to know this, because without make.com you must to on N8N register on Google APIs, search for those APIs. It's very ugly interface. You must to scroll everything. You don't understand how it works. After like 1 day spending how it works, you will try to make some requests to those APIs and make OAuth with your account, and it will say to you that you didn't add somewhere redirect URI. You also must to search for it, and it's really long time, but it's possible to switch to N8N. Make simple Python scripts. It's also not very difficult. It's just the same. It's also $5 a month, but to make API requests. But the best I think now it's just or locally or with N8N because it's just cheaper and faster a little bit. Also find some open source databases, just everything what you need, and be not very be a little bit tricky and let's say fool the system before they will block you, but try Groq free tier AI to just make it as much as request as you possibly can. To make as much request as possibly you can and just use from it or switch to other platforms. It's very easy to make API requests to the models from specific services and just use it. I think it will be pretty enough. And yeah, also golden rules how to reduce costs. What can be done for free must be done for free. Always will be free alternative for everything what you are doing from your custom code. You pay only by your time, optimize only if you have something for optimization. And that's my main message, is to optimize only what you have for optimization, not optimize what you don't have already. It's very interesting concept because from the beginning you're spending most of your resources to get some results and paying customers, and after you will think how to optimize it and reduce costs. About selling such solutions, I literally can't say honestly, I don't know, because I'm searching for now if someone is interested in developing it or have some more bigger ideas and how we can implement it. If you know someone, you can just tell them, hey, she's searching for someone. But from the reality, what I see is a lot of such LLM and video creation tools are living because of good demos, good marketing, and they have really with high quality. And those three components is sometimes very difficult to make beginners with their startups, and this is because they are failing. And now really a bunch of different video creation tools with AI, but half of them are just dying because no customers, but you must to pay for servers, for databases, and so on. And it's always tricky. But who knows how it will develop. And for today, it's all from my side. I hope it was useful somehow. Leave a comment below and see you soon.